Hey there, film fans. I'm Jeff.
I'm Dave.
And I'm John, and welcome back to The Love of Cinema, a pod in which we'll challenge one another to discuss movies both new and old with a strictly positive critical eye.
That's right. And to make sure we avoid lazy negativity, to keep us positive, we've decided to make this episode a drinking game. So anytime we say anything negative at all, you're going to hear this sound. That sound means that we have to take a drink. We hope you drink along with us.
So, pour yourselves a glass, and we're going to discuss a movie with so few consequences for gun violence, you'll think it's High School Musical.
Cheers.
America!
High School Musical. Surprisingly, not
damn.
negative. I feel like that's positive to Tombstone and High School Musical, Dave. So there you go. It's a win-win. All
how
right,
did you
people,
do that?
that's right. We are headed into 1993 this week, people. And the film we have chosen in our 1993 in film segment is Tombstone. Of course, that is George P. Cosmatos. I knew I was going to fuck this name up. George P. Cosmatos. Written by original director Kevin Jarre, who backed out early on. Kurt Russell, Val Kilmer. People, you should know this film, Tombstone.
How do you back out of your own movie? Like,
I don't know. Something happened. I guess he was replaced. Who knows? I thought it was his time.
they
I thought
probably
he was ready for
I
it.
wonder, did they walk in and go, this director can get this cast?
That's, I'm sure it was a nice way of saying they booted him. They kicked him the
Yeah.
fuck out. I'm sure it was nice. Hey, you back
Wow.
out now. Anyway, people were talking about Tombstone. We're going to talk a little bit about 1993. Why are we doing this, John? Why are we talking about 1993 in film?
We're talking about 1993 in film because we are back to the random year generator. We were, for a long time listeners, we were doing like a movie of the week, something that came out that week, but we are working and living in an industry time when there's a lot of big cinema stuff that, I don't know, I just got kind of tired of talking about superheroes, to be super, super honest. That said, I did see 2 new movies this week, and I'm curious if you guys did as well. We'll get to them. But we are back to the random year generator.
Did you
And we're
did
gonna
you
be
do this?
choosing
Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry? We're going to be choosing a movie from each year that comes up. We have done this before, but we're going to try to make sure it's a juicy movie, something good that has some legs that we can talk about and get some good traction on. And we can definitely, doing this, control what we're going to be discussing and make sure we're talking about movies we haven't talked about before. If you first-time listener to the pod, check out the Corona franchise Face Off.
Hell yeah.
And check out the blockbuster. What do we call that? Summer
the
blockbuster.
summer
I don't know, I was
blockbuster
drunk.
face-off.
Yeah, where are you
Dang.
drunk? So this is it, 1993.
There's Dave's.
That was
That's it.
delayed.
Yes, that makes sense. Wait, did you do Saw Patrol? The follow-up to Barbenheimer? You have Saw then and Paw Patrol that came out this week?
I did not do Saw Patrol. Maybe I should have.
my
Saw
God.
10.
What
A
was the
year
one they?
with
What was
two-
the one they moved? Oh, they had Exorcist was scheduled to come out on Friday the 13th, and then they found out that Taylor Swift's Eras tour is coming out on Friday, and it would have been opened on the same weekend, and they for about 2 seconds contemplated doing Exorcist. And I feel like
Missed opportunity. They should have done.
yeah, Swifties would have gone straight in for the Eras tour, and then had the shit scared out of them by Exorcist if
Oh,
they could
that's
get in
not
at
good.
all.
Beyonce's doing the
I-
live video thing too.
I just thought it was crazy that this is. How many years can you say this for? Like not straight to video, not the way things used to be. There were 2 franchises that had their 10th movie come out this year. What was the
Yeah.
other one, guys?
Saw and
It's
Fast
all
and Furious.
about family.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude,
yeah.
fucking
Fuck yeah.
Fast 10 and
10.
Saw 10. That is. There you go. You asked me why we're doing the random year generator now, because we're at a time when people are relying on their 10th fucking version
Although
of a recognized IP.
Recently, we
Not
did
talking
have
shit about Saw.
we did have two movies hit the #1 spot that were, it was 1 and 2, I think it was, and they weren't part of a franchise for the first time in like
Excellent.
10 years recently. So
What were they?
I can't remember. They're
Oh,
good.
Dave! Very memorable statistic. Not memorable movies. Welcome back. This is The Love of Cinema. We're,
So we are going to get to Tombstone, people, and we're going to give you a little, outline of what was going on in 1993 in film. But we like to get these episodes going with some mini reviews. So, friends, What did you guys see? Do you want to do that, or let's see? Because I think we can either decide mini review, or we can save it for the end of our episode in our What You've Been Watching segment. So, John, you said you saw 2 films. Let's see if Dave saw either of them. Because I don't know if you know this, New York City got fucked on Friday.
Oh man, dude, you're fucking crazy.
We got 8 inches of rain on Friday, so I didn't do shit on Friday. And I know that there's another
That's
day.
8 inches of rain everywhere.
Oh, every single inch got 8. It was tough, including the subways got 50 somehow. The subways, man, they were fucking poor. Water was coming out. I can't believe some of those walls are still standing. Anyway, John, what'd you see?
I saw, all right, I saw 2 movies, and I think I'm going to put them both in the mini review just because I think they're worth talking about because what we were just saying, non-pre-existing IP, some original ideas. I saw first The Creator. This is Gareth Edwards.
Yeah, I have not seen this yet, so keep this spoiler free.
Same.
I will, I promise. $80 million is the leading statistic here. What he is able to achieve, and not just him, I want to give credit where credit's due. Dave, who filmed this? You know who it is. It's your boy,
Gareth Edwards.
fucking Greg Fraser and Gareth Edwards got together again.
I'll just pause myself.
No, yeah, fuck you. Back together again from Rogue One. So Gareth hasn't made anything since Rogue One. That's a long time. Pandemic happened, but it's developing this. And y'all, what he was able to do with 80 is just a really good example of this is a man who came from the indie world, bust out of the right out with 2010s monsters, a lot of visual effects, went straight to Godzilla. Jeff and I were too high for that movie, but it was awesome. And he's just always been able to
I'm still scared
to use.
I know. Did he do Monsters?
Yes.
Wow, I never knew that. I never put the two. I never put the two together. That was like the first film to be edited on Premiere Pro.
The executive who thought that the guy who made Monsters could make Godzilla doesn't get the cookie. But I'm glad that he chose to do it. Anyway, story. Look, it's an original sci-fi piece. There were some parts of the rules of the world and the philosophy that I didn't resonate with as well as I wanted to because it was made so well. I wanted to dive in even further and for him to go a little bit further with that. But you should go see this movie. I still had a fun time. Hans Zimmer wrote a great score. They filmed the shit out of it. It's compelling. It was so cool seeing what would have been like a B movie in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. We'll skip over the 90s because they just didn't make this kind of sci-fi. It was mostly sci-fi horror in the 90s and early 2000s. This is like presented to you with the same level of production and filmmaking as all of our big Star Wars and things like that with half the budget and original characters and original scenarios. So I definitely want to tell you to go see it. But my big A+, yeah, you should go see it.
Yeah.
My big A+ of the week surprised the hell out of me. And I don't know why it surprised me so much. GameStop. It was Dumb Money. It was Craig Gillespie's Dumb Money. Now, I didn't know he directed this until right before I saw it. Craig Gillespie made Lars and the Real Girl, I, Tonya. Yeah. I love this director. Yeah. This movie, if you've seen a trailer for it, it looks charming. It kind of looks like Diet Adam McKay, right? Like Diet Big Short.
Diet Adam McKay.
Right? It's in the world of that. It is right up there with that stuff. The storytelling is so excellent. It's hilarious. It's so funny. It's informative. And this is a little bit different than watching The Big Short because, we were all kind of sitting on our ass, so we kind of watched all that happen. Yeah. So we're a little bit more familiar with a lot of the ins and outs. He still spells it out for you.
I am way familiar with the ins and outs from one side.
Yeah. Okay.
Dave, can we break your NDA?
Honestly, dude, honestly. And it gets into all that stuff. The casting is so much fun. Guys, I was shocked at how much I enjoyed it. I knew I was going to enjoy it. I loved it. Go see that movie. Enjoy yourself. Have fun.
Did you go there to see something else and get the dates wrong and end up seeing it by accident?
No, we were choosing the first night.
That's how we saw The Big Short.
Come on.
I love The Big Short. I love The Big Short.
You and me saw that together, didn't we?
Yeah, but we were going to see something else. And it wasn't on until next week. And we fucked up the dates. And we ended up seeing The Big Short.
That may have happened to us with Ex Machina, too. Anyway, good surprises. You're welcome. And go watch Dumb Money. I can't wait for you to go see it. I think everybody is going to be swept up when they start talking about it. It's going to get great word of mouth. Enjoy. All right.
And these are both only in theaters so far?
Only in theaters, exclusively in theaters, both of them. I think Dumb Money is Sony, Columbia, and who made fucking Creator? Damn it. E-Films, E1.
Oh,
E1,
yeah.
And I can't remember who released it. Is it Paramount? God, I feel bad. It's not Paramount. Anyway, Go see both of them though. Enjoy yourself. You haven't seen.
Sure.
You don't get to see movies like either of them very often these days. So
I'm always
go
on the
spend your
hunt
money.
for like new original sci-fi. So
Yeah, you're gonna like it, man. I think
Oh
you're
my
gonna
God,
have a good time.
Gareth Edwards, 4 films: Godzilla, a Star Wars movie, this, and
Unbelievable.
Monsters. That's it. Yeah, 4 features.
Unreal.
that he directed.
he just stays quiet till he has something to say.
Hey, fuck. Favorite
Good
kind
for
of
him,
people, huh?
dude. 80 million, Dave. Keep that
Yeah.
in mind when you guys go see it. 80 million. I think Rogue One. I think Godzilla was 160. I think Rogue One was 200. Or switch them. So he's worked with way bigger budgets than his first monsters. And he was like, let me see what I can do if I can bring this down. Because this will be the last thing I'm going to say, and then I'll shut the fuck up. There's a good LA Times article that he was talking about this in. His answer to what is happening now in the industry is prove to people that you can make things for way less of the production value. Not the audience's production value, but literally the production costs have inflated so much
Yeah.
that everybody thinks you need for what he would say is 3 or 4 times the amount you actually need to pull it off. And that there's actually an intimacy that is lost because of that with the filmmaking and the film watching. And I think people who like movies, and certainly people who know how to make movies, when you look at it, you're going to be able to see what he means. The way the language, storytelling, it feels like a certain way that I do agree with him is kind of lost with let's just do it all in blue, green, or gray. Let's just go full CGI. Let's just use our walls and let's just stick with that. He finds very interesting practical ways to use CGI and backgrounds and motivated lighting and applied CGI in a practically shot scenario that is I haven't seen in a long time. It
Yeah.
almost feels like early 2000s work.
Doesn't it suck that now that we've gone to random number generator, they're finally releasing good fucking non-superhero movies?
But we can still talk about it. Go see it and tell me what you think, dude.
Yeah.
That's a Walt Disney Studios motion picture. So
Excellent. Well, he's still with the Mouse House. Not surprised.
yeah, it looks
Kathleen was
it's
like,
He probably tore half the checks up. They're like, no, he have 120 million. No.
yeah, he cashed those checks as soon as everybody was striking against Bob Iger. He's like, I'm cashing these fucking checks, people.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. All right. 1993 in film, people. 1993 in film. Do you guys remember from our summer box office face-off, what the highest grossing movie in 1993 was?
No.
Jurassic Park.
Hell yeah! Da, 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 da. Jurassic Park, which thanks to re-releases has made over $1 billion worldwide, and fuck, who knows how much the merchandising, has grossed, but it destroyed everything at the box office this year in 1993, of course. But look at the rest of the top 4. You talk about having like fun movies that are coming out in the theater. We have Saw Patrol coming out at the same time as The Creator and the GameStop movie, which is not to be confused with the GameStop documentary, which is on Hulu. Mrs. Doubtfire was number 2 worldwide.
Ooh. That was a good movie,
Family-friendly
though.
comedy. Yeah.
Do it like a lady. Do you remember the vacuum?
No, my favorite is Figaro, 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 where he's like mousing the fucking like animated thing.
Yeah, every kid in America wanted to grow up and voice cartoons after that opening scene. It's fucking brilliant.
Every kid said, wait, that could be my dad? No, I'm kidding. We love our parents. The Fugitive was number 3. We talked about
so
that in a
good.
previous episode. Go back, listen to it. And Schindler's List was number 4 worldwide with over $300 million. So what a top 4. The Miss Doubtfire, fucking
2 from
Schindler's
one
List,
man.
Jurassic Park, 2 from 1 man.
Yeah.
Guys, this really is the year of Steven Spielberg, where he has Schindler's List and Jurassic Park. I mean, the 80s Steven Spielberg owned the 80s. He owned them. But the 90s, I mean, that's 1 year. He just had those 2 films come out. It's fucking awesome. Okay, cool. Let's see. This is the year that Brandon Lee was accidentally killed on the set of The Crow. This is the year of River Phoenix on Halloween. Very sorry to bring that up, but that did happen here in 1993. Really, really, really sad. And then when it comes to the Oscars, you got Tom Hanks for Philadelphia, Holly Hunter for The Piano, Angela Bassett won the Golden Globe for What's Love Got to Do with It, but not the Oscar. Tommy Lee Jones cleans up for The Fugitive. Somehow, Ralph Fiennes won the BAFTA, but that's it. How does Ralph Fiennes not win awards? Everybody said they're like, I want to grow up and win an Oscar. And then you give the performance that Ralph Fiennes gave in Schindler's List, and you win almost nothing. I mean, tough life for an actor out there, I guess. At least he has a lot of money and people who know who he is. Anna Paquin wins for The Piano. That's right. Academy Award winner Anna Paquin. That is one of my favorite quotes in all TV shows.
Yeah, and that is the last thing she did wearing clothes.
Shut the fuck up,
Jesus, dude.
Dave!
Not wrong. But come on.
That is one of my favorite things. Schmidt says in New Girl, he goes, that's even harder to say than Academy Award winner Anna Paquin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, she's great. We love her. She's great. Okay,
Yeah.
Bruce Springsteen wins
She
an
is
Oscar
good.
for The Streets of Philadelphia. And Daniel Day-Lewis did not win an Oscar for In the Name of the Father, but that's okay. There's a lot of other good shit that went on this year. I just want to shout out Homeward Bound. I want to shout out
Fuck
The
yeah, dude.
Sandlot. This is really the year of like our fucking generation. I mean, you got like Hot Shots Part 2. You got Cliffhanger. You got The Firm. You got Rookie of the Year. Weekend at Bernie's. Free Willy, people. Robin Hood, Men in Tights. So I married an axe
Weekend at
murderer.
Bernie's.
Yeah. No,
Surf Ninjas?
Weekend at Bernie's 2.
Two.
Oh, okay. I was
They made a
I
second
thought
one.
That was like solid,
Guys.
like 87.
Come on. Cool Runnings came out this year. Rudy. Like, get out of here. Beethoven's Second. Come on, people. What a year. And then, of course, Dazed and Confused and a bunch of other cool movies. True Romance. Anything else you guys remember about 1993?
God, I love movies from the 90s.
Yeah.
What a fun year.
1993.
Nothing
This was
too
the year
serious,
that wasn't Bill Clinton inaugurated?
but inaugurated, yeah, January.
1993? I feel like this was the first year I remember a president being inaugurated.
Whoa.
Let's talk about fucking Tombstone, because you know what?
Tombstone.
This is the year. This is one of those years, and Tombstone is one of those movies like from my childhood that like I can still see the VHS cover. It's definitely one of those that blew up, as you know, maybe more so than it did in release. So, Jeff, did you read off any numbers 'Cause
About
I found
Tombstone?
some- yeah.
Well, Tombstone was actually a big hit at the box office, unlike the Wyatt Earp film, which is the Lawrence Kasdan film that came out the next year. But no, I didn't read out any numbers about Tombstone. You got them up?
I do. So what I thought was fascinating, because I remember just hearing, this was one of those movies that I felt like every one of my friends' dads rented like at least once every few months. Like all the men were like talking about this movie. So I think I looked it up, and down
One
here in
of the dads
domestic-
just owned it and they just passed it around the households.
Honestly, dude, it's a good shoot. It's a fun Western shoot 'em up. We'll talk about the details in a little bit. But budget of $25 million. Most of that went to the cast. I mean, the production
Yeah,
design's great. They built the hell out of this town, but my God, what a cast! We'll talk about it in a little
Oh,
bit.
hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
The opening weekend did about 6.5. Ended up in U.S. and Canada grossing about 56.5, and that's where it mostly sat because apparently it didn't distribute around the world as well. But it ended up through home video, if I'm reading this correctly, ended up doing it about 144 million.
Oh,
total.
my God.
Yeah.
when you the adjusted domestic box
See,
office with home video.
This is right in that sweet spot as well, where like the because when I know in Australia, I don't know what happened here, but when they started releasing videos for you to buy to have at home,
oh, dude.
when they first came out, they were like $80. And
Holy shit.
yeah,
Jesus
yeah, it was like
Christ.
60 or 80
That's more
bucks
than-
to have a copy of
that's
this
more
movie at
than,
home.
Yeah,
fuck,
on
Dave?
Blu-rays when they came
Yeah.
out.
And it was for fucking VHS. But no, we hadn't had them before. So you could have the movie in your home and watch it whenever you wanted. And so
So in the first year, it made $100 million in its home box office, its home
Yeah.
video release. Yeah, we don't look at those numbers enough. And just to give it context, I know we kind of
I feel like we don't give
started
them
this
out
episode,
enough.
and no, we just don't look at. It's hard to look at. We know it's almost like the industry doesn't like talking about the home video market because it
Yeah.
made more than most movies made in
Yeah.
the theater.
And they
there
always
was
had
this-
ads at the beginning too. So how much did Domino's and Pizza Hut pay to like get on the fucking front of all these goddamn VHS? And you couldn't skip them. You had to fucking sit there and watch
so
these Pizza Hut commercials.
Much fucking
So many
money.
fucking Pizza Hut.
you guys got ads? I got trailers for other movies.
I got both sometimes.
Yeah.
One or the other
Yeah,
or
yeah.
both. It
Yeah, they
depended on
never
what it
put
was.
like Pizza Hut commercials in ours.
Yeah.
It was
So
Yeah,
we
I
didn't
feel
talk
like-
about this earlier, but cheers to the W fucking GA.
oh yeah.
Yeah, signing. Cheers.
Yeah.
So like
Mm.
So many shows are going to be
This-
prepped that they're going to start filming as soon as the SAG Awards. Everything's going to be ready to go.
I
Cast,
know
you're
some
get ready to work.
actors-
You better start
I
getting
know
your
some-
memorization skills to back up.
I know some actors who are on some regular shows, and they got called the day after the signing and said, "We're back in the room. We're writing. Can't shoot immediately, but I think they're basically just saying we're writing. We are going to be shooting as soon as we possibly can, which probably will be the beginning of next year, assuming the SAG-AFTRA, deal gets signed, which I'm sure it will. But anyway, I was just bringing that up because we don't have a lot, all this conversation about where are these other revenue streams going to come from. God, it's just kind of like a what the fuck happened to this? There was a minute there in time where they had this other ancillary revenue stream that more than doubled every single fucking product they put out into the universe. Some products didn't even have to go to theaters. They just went straight to fucking video.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they still made lots of money off of that shit.
Well, this is, we complain.
Unbelievable.
Disney Plus is raising the price. So I have the bundle, and it used to be $14.99. It's going up to $18.99. What a fucking scandal! It's $4. I just rented Tombstone for $3 like it was fucking nothing. They're literally raising me a Tombstone rental every month, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here. Whereas it's like Friday night, I'm bored. Want to go to the movies? Sure, $50 just out my asshole. But it's like $14 turns to $18. So honestly, everybody does have a huge stick up their ass when it comes to these subscription prices
It does,
because they're
dude.
sitting there going, wow, it's getting just as expensive as cable. Oh, it's turning into cable. And it's like, yeah, but I just feel like we do, if we want every show to be as good as Succession, we have to fucking pay for it. Because HBO is
Yes.
not, or Time Warner Discovery is not going to increase their overall budget. So if the Writers Guild wants more and the SAG and they want more, and they deserve it, they're just going to make
course.
fewer, they're going to make less shit. The
Yeah,
only way
that's-
they make up
that's
those
the
margins
thing.
is if you go to the fucking theater and you spend
Yeah.
some goddamn money. If you don't go to the theater and spend some goddamn money, you cannot fucking complain about this. You just can't. We've gone to the theater so many goddamn times in the past 2 years. Why am I talking about like we're special? This is a fucking positive podcast. I'm so sorry.
You are special. You are, and you're special, and you're special. Hey, Dave, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Tombstone?
Dude, my pop used to watch westerns like crazy. And
Nice.
I was never really down for it. It wasn't my thing till this came
Yeah.
along.
Oh, yes.
Like this was the thing. This one, it not only did it have such a really cool fucking cast, like a huge cast, and they were cast that I'd seen in other things as well. You know,
So many
Kurt
people.
Russell was in his fucking prime. I want to say Val Kilmer steals the shit out of this movie.
I'm your Huckleberry.
Yeah,
Ooh.
just he gets
God.
all the
Oh
good
my God,
lines.
he's
Like,
yeah. Oh.
dude, yeah. I love this. I love this movie. It's short. There's a couple of times where they just really speed up the pacing and cut out
Short's
some
pushing
stuff
it.
where it's just
I
a
push
lot
back
of
on that.
yeah, where it's just a lot of like shooting. But it's still the setup is there, the payoff is there, everything you want out of this is there. I really dig this movie.
How did Deadwood not come
Nice.
out 20 years earlier? After Tombstone, they should have said, "I got a miniseries for you." Like
Yeah.
what took so long?
And just for the record,
didn't believe
that
me yet.
that one liner he drops about you're going to do something or just stand there and bleed, I'm going to start using that at work.
That is such a good fucking line, dude. There's so many good, juicy lines. Oh, we'll get to some fun quotes later.
There's
But
so many. Guys,
Dave,
this
I think I
is.
agree.
Oh, sorry, you go ahead, John. You're rolling. Did you both had seen this before?
They just
Or John
chuck
had
it.
it. You
I've
had
seen
it. John and I had not seen this before. Neither of us. Go
Somehow
ahead.
slipped through the cracks. I had so much fun watching it for all the reasons that everybody had always said. Like the cast is unreal. It's crazy they got all these group of people together. It gave me feelings of the Wild Bunch, and I saw that for the first time this summer. I think I mentioned that to you guys. Sam
Yeah.
Peckinpah's like it's also unreal. You're waiting for just this gang to get back together and just fucking kill everybody, and like that you're gonna get your catharsis. That's kind of what you're waiting for. I can't say this strongly enough, though. We'll probably get more into detail with it. Kurt Russell is so good in this movie and navigates. He is our fulcrum between what I think is a very successful part of the movie, which is why people like it so much, which is the male part of this story.
Yeah.
The females and the way they're written, the way they're portrayed, and hit the love story and stuff. I don't think it's on the same level. It's a little cheesier, feels a little bit
yeah.
more two-dimensional. And if it weren't for him navigating both of them and making it believable, I think this movie could have sucked. It could have just been cheesy. But he is the fucking man, as he always is. And I believe him making those choices in and out of both of them. He has some kind of deliverance that is moving through both of those things somehow.
Nice reference.
And yeah, there you go. And he is I don't know, he's the glue, and you just kind of believe it. And he sets you up so that you actually believe there's a chance that he doesn't want to get pulled back into this world. And but he is, who Wyatt Earp is. And then there's the supporting characters are just absolutely, brilliant and fun to watch. It's
Yeah.
one of those where you feel like there's a theater troupe in a location somewhere out here in Southern California or Arizona or wherever the fuck they shot, and they're just having a blast, just playing with each other. I don't feel like anybody was ever trying to steal a scene. I feel like everybody was just having fun.
Yep.
Honestly, the only scenes that I felt like weren't like that were the ones with the female characters, which is a shame. Those actors didn't do a bad job. I just don't feel like those characters were written with the same they were realism, because I wouldn't want to say that the guys are there's something not realistic about the Wild West of Tombstone. It feels a little heightened, maybe a little too opulent.
Yeah,
maybe
also there's one building at the end of Main Street with a forced perspective painting. No one was fucking buying it. So
just one.
But it's there. It's there in the middle of the shot at one point.
I think you're gonna have fun if you're coming for a fun. Watch the gang get together and do the right thing, and a lot of blood and shooting. Wild West, a 90s Western, like it kind of ticks all those boxes.
I mean, yeah, they set him up perfectly as well for like the white hat sheriff sort of thing, like when the guy's smacking the horse at the beginning and he just walks up and grabs him. And he could have just stopped the guy hitting the horse, but he takes the shit and hits the guy with it. It's like, yeah, how do you fucking like it?
I mean, the dude with the extension of that, the next step of that scene with Billy Bob Thornton was.
That scene was so fucking good. Yeah.
Two fucking aces, A+ actors and Kurt just fucking owning it. And I'm not picking on Kurt Russell at all. I fucking love him. But he's probably the shortest man on set in a lot of these scenes. He's not the biggest guy. He's working with some big actors.
Next to Sam Elliott. Yeah.
I mean, he's got that thing though. He's just got that movie star thing. He's just fucking bleeding with it.
I love that he didn't try to do an affectation to his voice like a lot of people do when they play pirates or cowboys. They try to do, he sounded like Kurt, but like not for 1 second did I think he wasn't Wyatt Earp or from Kansas or Missouri.
Push back against that, because I totally agree with you. And it's just one of those things. If it works, it works. I think Val Kilmer's voice worked for me.
For sure. But it's different though. He's a supporting character.
That's true.
He's a supporting character who's an educated poet. You know what I mean? It's like it's a little different. He's a gambler.
Have we heard from Jeff on this yet?
No.
Jeff, get in there,
guys. I watched this clip of something with Angela, which is a 68-year-old opera singer, and this guy, I turned to her. He was giving it so fucking hard. He was giving this aria, and I turned to Angela and I said, "This guy looks like if he died doing this song right now, he'd be okay with it. Like he's ready to give his life for this fucking aria right now. Like he literally will die for us." I feel like this movie is opera. This movie, but not like opera as in Wagner or some shit like that. It is so elevated. Every single bit of this, obviously the production design, but the stakes, the cast, everybody is playing up. They know it's lore. We talked about Bonnie and Clyde last week. They know that it's based in truth. And I didn't even fucking know this. I didn't know this was about Wyatt Earp. I didn't know, and he's in every crossword puzzle because EARP are very popular letters. So it's in every fucking. I know Wyatt Earp is because not just because of New York Times crossword, but I know this. I didn't know that these two gunfights that he was in. I didn't know that he was like primarily, a peace officer and he was all about peace, but he just happened to, at the end of his fucking life, get involved in two of the most famous gunfights of all time. And that's basically what this movie is based on, because one of them, the gunfight at the OK Corral. Shut up.
Corral.
Which is
OK Corral.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Who's he fighting? Fucking Nemo and Dory?
The OK Corral. Honestly, I said Corral because the OK Corral sounds a whole lot like the Golden Corral, which is an all-you-can-eat buffet in the South.
All you can eat, baby.
Which I'll just say, the Golden Corral voted for Trump. Like that's the whole place. Anyway,
I'm sure they endorsed him.
So I didn't know. I had no idea that if you told me that, I would have been like, holy shit! I would have watched this when I was 4 years old. I didn't know any of this shit.
Yeah.
But this movie is so. They set the tone so clearly early on, not just with the fucking massacre at a goddamn wedding that happens at the beginning, which features literally a killing of a priest, a stealing of their food, maybe a rape. It was fucking. I was like, oh my god, they're really fucking. This is crazy. But it is so.
Jeff, you nailed it, dude. Opera.
It is
directed by, and he's Italian, I think.
Yeah, he's
right?
Italian. He's born in Italy. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, you're exactly right, dude. That thing I was trying to say, it felt like elevated is the word. The opera. That is exactly what it is. The way they used the music editing of the soundtrack underneath, It feels
Except for
like
the
it's
ladies.
a throwback.
The Ladies was definitely an early 90s, like power ballady kind of thing. Yeah, 100%. You're right. But the guys, it
Yeah,
was
it was
so
kinda
fucking
strange.
grounded. It was
I just
so
love
good.
as well. You'd like all of the fantastic Western things that you're looking for are there, like the close-ups on the eyes and all that sort of stuff. But it starts off with the voiceover where it's like it was. The text with they are talking about the gang.
pictures,
And it's
yeah.
like, and they call themselves the Cowboys, and then immediately cuts to the most Western wide shot you can fucking do without 70 mil.
Yeah.
And it's so like straight up, you're into it. If you came here expecting a Western, here's a Western, but there's also a lot more going on there. There's many more layers than you find in a traditional Western in this. But
bet it was fun,
the
too.
style is still there.
I bet it was fun too when this came out, just because I would imagine after Unforgiven the year before or 2 years before, I think it was 92. I feel like after Clint Eastwood made that, which was super
92.
Okay, 92. Super realistic, grounded. I think he was going for a much more authentic minimalist kind of take on that type of story.
Gene
And it served
Hackman
it
in that.
very
Holy
well.
shit.
Fucking brilliant. Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, it's absolutely brilliant. So to see this is kind of a fun contrast to that, as opposed to trying to recreate what he achieved so well with that. This is a different kind of Western.
Ugh.
And it still had a lot of familiar faces, still had a lot of really great acting. But yeah, I don't know. I bet the contrast going in, people may have been thinking it's going to be another kind of Unforgiven, and they got this. And it was
Yeah.
probably fun to have like a different kind of ride.
Yeah, this
I have
was
no-
this was
sorry,
way
Nick.
more entertaining as such. Like
Oh, yeah.
Unforgiven is still like it's entertaining on a different level. It's entertaining dramatically, but this is entertaining in that it is. There's like a camaraderie there. It's their own little gang, and you're really rooting for them.
I feel like this. So and I'm sure you all did as well, but I certainly grew up with like the Cowboys and Indians set, which I'm sure in hindsight is probably problematic, but that's what we did. Cowboys and Indians was the
Yeah.
fucking shit when we were growing up.
Yeah.
And this is probably around 1993 where I'm buying all these sets and just like literally like having cowboys shoot Indians and shit. Again, I know it's problematic, but this is the lie. This is how it was. I kind of feel like this movie was like, yeah, but this shit really happened. You know, obviously there's no Indians here, but they understood the commercialization of the Westerns to kids and to, you know, mass media, mass everything. And so it's almost like acknowledging, at least in jest, that is going on. And at the same time being like, it was larger than life, but it was also real. It really happened. This wasn't
Yeah.
just for fun. People actually died and there were consequences. And so I feel like where the old Westerns were so slow, and yes, it was also opera, but this was also done in a way where they did massacres in a way where, like, I'll put it this way. There was an old man that got shot in a town square. I think you guys know which one I'm talking about, where they couldn't believe that they shot the old man, right? Like Wyatt Earp wouldn't go out there and this old guy does, and it sort of gets Wyatt back. And I turned to Angela after this happened and I said, is that guy smoking from inside out? And we rewatched it, and literally, like, there's the and then there's a cut, and you see, and literally there's smoke coming out of him as he's dying on the ground. I mean, that is it's not realistic in the sense where it's like we know the stakes of it, but also it's like we're not going to sit there and be fearful of gun violence in our own life. And I just feel like they found the texture really well, where they acknowledge that we're commercializing this, but also like
bullet wounds do
it's real.
smoke a little if it's chilly enough, because like the
His
bullet is red hot. It's cooking him.
Insides were fucking. He was smoking
The
like he
bullet's
was
cooking him.
he was a fucking brisket
While
on
we're
a
on the
stove
subject
before
of
they
bullets,
throw it in the oven.
were bullets fucking free back then?
Honestly, dude.
Because they were cutting loose, like in the air, in the theater.
Honestly,
Get a hand
kids
job
were-
like a normal person.
Did kids just like find bullets in the sand everywhere? There were just so
Everywhere,
many.
dude.
It's just
No, but let's first of all, let's move into spoilers so we can talk about who the old man was. But yeah, we're in spoilers, and I
really
think,
happened.
and of course, it's natural to the story of Wyatt Earp. Like I'm not saying that they chose to do this because it's a movie, but it's a fun time period of the West to tackle, where it was weird watching. There's a little kind of what? It's kind of weird watching a Western where they're trying to introduce law and order that is actually based from a civilian perspective. It's not just, we've seen plenty of stories where the good sheriff is trying to fight off the bad guys. Like, of course that's like the center of most Westerns. But it's interesting to watch them trying to implement a law like no carrying guns in town. So for these 100 yards, you can't do it. We're not. I'm not saying you can't own a gun. I'm saying you can't bring it in here.
Wasn't that such a good moment in the movie in 2023 to watch?
Well,
that was so
that's
weird,
not the only
dude.
dig as well they had at Modern Society too. Did you notice the cart go past with the equal job, equal pay for women?
Yes.
Oh,
women.
yeah.
Yeah. They were trying to fit things like that. I mean, they were just, I don't know. I felt like the way that they were handling, like navigating this transition from the West, it was interesting. I thought it compelling to watch the Cowboys gang, which was, they made us believe that they were very, very organized and powerful and an entity that was and they were just obeying the law for the most part. And they did a good job of kind of riding that line throughout the movie of, are they taking this personally? Are they eventually, do they have enough power to just very comfortably overturn them? And then they did a good job of, they would splinter off into like groups of cowboys that chose to try to go up against them.
Yeah.
And that was the reason that the law could ultimately pull them apart, was because if all 150 of them or 300 or whatever, however many of them it was, if they had very quickly and initially just killed the three brothers, game over.
That's it.
Right?
That's
They
how
could've just
easy
thrown
that
the
is.
Earps
It
out
could,
of town.
Yeah, I'm
Guns
sure
were
SAG
everywhere.
is thinking the same thing right now.
Oh, Dave, look at you. That's why I thought it was so cool. One of my favorite lines in the movie is when, I'm going to fuck it up, but when he's telling when Kurt Russell's telling Bill Paxton that he only had to use his gun one time ever. And that you shouldn't have to use your gun. So they establish Wyatt Earp with a pre-script text before the movie begins about his history as this famous lawman. And you find out that he never used his gun.
Yeah.
Like one time he had to use it. Like that's
they kept calling
awesome.
him a peace. They kept saying peace officer. They just kept saying it. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's a diplomat.
Well, the thing
And the one time he used it, he killed the man. He killed a man, and he didn't like it.
when we get to the big gunfight at the corral, the one thing I find the most interesting about that gunfight is they walk in, the guys form up, they form up, somebody reaches, and their first reaction is, "That's not what I want," and he puts a hand out to hold him. It's like, we're not here to fight. You look like it when you walked up, but it was like,
Was that Powers Booth? Was that the guy? Was that like the Powers Booth is the one who tried to stop him, right?
No, I think it was
No, he's not
no, it
there.
was Sam Elliott.
He wasn't
Said
there.
that.
Oh yeah, Sam.
He's
you're
not
right.
there.
Yeah,
Sam Elliott says, "No, what
he's
we
like,
want."
"It's
And
not
then
what I want."
The look on, doesn't Kurt Russell, when the guy starts to reach, Kurt Russell's like, "God damn it!" Like nobody wants this fight to go down because everybody's gonna get fucking shot. God, Val Kilmer is the man when he walks up.
Yeah.
Boom, and he like puts his arms out like he's surrendering and fucking like
Oh my
side
God,
swipes
Val,
the
dude,
shot
was
to the
fucking
head.
man.
God, unreal. They also did a good job in this movie of, how do I say this? There's a lot of times in movies where bullets are just going everywhere and somehow nobody's getting shot. But this felt like they were trying to shoot people and they couldn't. Like very believably, like, our guns are pointing at you, and yet we're not killing each other very quickly. It's just
actually
taking more time.
I'm sure we'll keep going through like favorite moments of the movie or favorite lines and scenes. I think my absolute favorite. Also, I love that we have the revelations quote at the wedding thing, and then it immediately cuts to Kurt Russell. It's like such a good, just like fucking textbook, like film school shit.
Yeah.
Even though this is fun. I love so much when you have like the gunslinger guy in the street, and Val Kilmer is there, and he has the gun. Not everybody has the gun. Wyatt Earp doesn't have a gun, and he has the gun. And the guy's like, he's pointing a gun. He says, Val Kilmer's pointing the gun, and the other guy says, "You're so drunk, you're probably seeing double."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Well, I have a second gun here for both of you." Like when he sits there, it's so good. It's so good. I have a second gun here, one for each of you. And it's like, oh my God, I'm fucking up the quote, but it's like every single thing Val Kilmer did.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it was pristine.
Even though like it was him that started that fight, like the gunfight, just that one blown kiss, and that changed everything.
Oh, it's so good. But just think about this.
I mean,
This
but
is
you
a
still love the guy.
We talk about character driven versus whatever. Like this is a character driven, spectacularly designed. You have Kurt Russell, Billy Bob Thornton, Sam Elliott, Val Kilmer, and Bill Paxton all in the same scene. Not even in the movie. They're all talking to each other. You have Powers Booth, Emmy winner. I mean, just fucking cowboy killing group. You have Michael Rooker, Thomas Hayden Church, Stephen Lang, Dana Delaney, Emmy winner, Terry O'Quinn, Emmy winner, Billy Zane gets shot out doing the St. Crispin's Day speech. While you have a theatrical lighting designer using liquor in front of the light
awesome.
instead of using a polycarbonate color gel because it has that kind of flowy effect on the stage. So it looks like it's like, flickering and stuff. I mean, the detail, the production. I actually sat there sitting there.
Was that Billy Zane? Fucking looked like Chris Sarandon.
Yeah,
It was Billy Zane doing the Shakespeare shit, and people were shooting at him and very quickly getting moved. And that's good direction when you could get an entire when you're doing crowd work with a very single solitary performance and then crowd work responding to that and they're all responding together. That's really good direction. But some of these sweeping shots and stuff, I actually sat there and said, did that shot take all day just to get that 5 seconds? Because it was like, honestly, it was spectacular. I thought it was really spectacular.
Dude.
And this is a guy who just does like Sly Stallone movies and like mutant sea creature movies and murderous rat movies. Like, I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Everyone has at least one gold, one in them.
Dude, he fucking nailed it.
And the writer from Glory said, hey, I have an idea. Let's have more fun in this era. The writer from Glory was like, you know what? I wish Glory was more fun. And then he tried to direct this and they said, no, your writing is fine.
I'm sorry. I'm still on killer rat movies. Now I'm picturing Ratatouille in the style of Saw.
Oh, come on.
I'm picturing Ratatouille in the style of Paw Patrol, but killer. Okay, sorry, what?
I was just gonna say let's maybe go down and talk about some of our favorite cameos or supporting players who weren't there for maybe the whole movie. I was not expecting to see fucking Terry O'Quinn as the town mayor.
Emmy winner.
Yeah.
It's fucking John Locke doing in fucking Tombstone, Arizona. That was
I immediately
fun.
distrusted him, that's for sure.
Oh, come on. Just Locke season 5 and 6, though, maybe.
Yeah. I stuck
Robert
around till the
Mitchum
end.
As the narrator. That was really charming.
Charlton Heston?
Fucking Charlton Heston.
Yeah.
As the ranch owner.
That was like a little.
I was like, was that fucking Charlton Heston?
And this was before he chose the wrong side after Columbine.
That was a I don't think a buzz should happen there. That was a definite handover moment for me. It was almost like
yes.
Do you remember the Do you remember the movie Welcome to the Jungle? I think that's what it was called over here.
Yeah.
But it was The Rock and Sean William Scott, and at the beginning of it, they're walking into a club.
I love it.
And Arnie walks the other way, and he's just like, "Good luck." And it was like a handover to The Rock as an action movie.
Giant man to giant man.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so good. Oh, it's so good.
So that was a total handover movie, like handover moment for me.
Is the best cameo in this whole movie though Fat Billy Bob Thornton?
Fat Billy Bob is so fucking that scene.
Dude.
I mean, apart from the end with the pool cue, with the gunshot right at the pool cue hitting that's opera, guys. The guy, he's just playing pool, he hits the pool cue, gets shot, falls on the thing through the window, right? They go after him and then they run outside. The lightning is going crazy. The sky is purple. And then they go back inside and the blood is everywhere. I mean, that is high drama. That scene is so good. But the Billy Bob Thornton scene, the tension, they're talking about fucking smoke wagons as if this is a normal conversation. Literally, Kurt Russell starts slapping Billy Bob Thornton, who has a gun, and they're talking about fucking smoke wagons. I mean, what a goddamn... And then but Billy Bob just fucking wanders up, and then he gets the shotgun, and they convince him to throw it on the ground and leave it and walk away.
And then he thanks them for it.
He thanks him for letting him live, even though he had the shotgun. It's so good.
God, that's so good. I want to ask you guys a question. How the fuck is Michael Biehn not a movie star? Like, he was so good as Johnny Ringo, and he's so good in Terminator. Like, I mean, he blew me away as Ringo, though. Like, the eyes. There's something in his focus. I mean, I fucking saw everything. And when you got it, I just kept thinking, because I'd never seen the movie before, so I didn't know that wonderful quote about him that Doc Holliday, Val Kilmer says. You know, he had originally said that Kurt Russell's character, he kind of corrects guys, like a declaring statement about some of the gang that joins him to shoot up the cowboys and take back, you know, justice in that land, and they're saying that Wyatt Earp was out for revenge, and Doc Holliday clarifies and says it's not revenge. He's here for a reckoning. And then a few scenes later, he's talking to Kurt Russell's Wyatt Earp about Johnny Ringo, and he's like, "You got to be careful of a man like that, because he's out for revenge."
Yeah.
And Wyatt Earp says, "Revenge for what?" He says, "For being born."
Oh, it's so
and if you're
good.
an actor and you read something like that, and you're
Well, I thought Doc
Michael
Holliday
Biehn and
said
you're
that.
playing. Doc Holliday says that.
Yeah, that's
But
right.
if you're Michael Biehn and you're playing Johnny Ringo and you read that about your character, it's
Yeah.
one of these, when we're breaking down scripts as actors, you're thinking about what are my givens, my clues, what do people say about me, blah, 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 blah. He has a few scenes that are good where he does some talking and there's probably some action on the page. But that fucking line is the only thing you need to know.
Yeah.
And when you get a line given to you like that, when somebody says something like, especially an intelligent character like a Doc Holliday, how do you play that without indicating that? And I was just so impressed with the focus that Michael Biehn brought, the intelligence that he brought to that character, without making it cliche or gimmicky. I believed him.
I saw that at the end in their last duel with Val and him, where it's almost like they were looking at each other, and it's almost like, wait a second, we'd be good friends.
Yeah, we're not so different, you and I, which is like,
I mean, and they
like
say this in World War II movies, and they say this in Vietnam, where like the few people who survive and sit there and be like, if I were them, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd be shooting at me too. So we'd actually be friends in a different life. And it's like with them, it's almost like they're doing this because they have to, but they wish they didn't have to or something. There was real texture in that.
I mean, there was the subtlety of when he was mocking him after he did the whole gunplay thing, and he's got the cup, and he's just spinning the cup.
Oh,
The fact
that scene was so good. The tension,
fact
baby.
that he laughs.
Yeah.
It's just a half-contained laugh there. It's like, yeah, okay, that was pretty funny. You got me. But he's still fucking
But it's
pissed
also
off.
like, what else are we gonna do? We're not gonna shoot each other up. So how are we gonna get through this moment? He goes, fuck, you got me. God damn it. Okay, fine. What else are you gonna do? You're not gonna shoot each
I
other.
fucking love whenever a movie can pull off a sub protagonist and antagonist. Like, they're not the focus. Like that is just that's so much fun to watch. And again, these guys can it works because it's so elevated. It's this opera thing you're talking about, because they're almost super heroic and super villainous. These two, Doc Holliday and Johnny Ringo. And the fact that we get to watch, I was genuinely surprised when Val Kilmer walked up. I'm your Huckleberry. I was like, oh fuck, here we go. And you saw the fear in Ringo, and he was like, I don't actually want to fight you. My fight's not with you. And it's like, well, what was that great exchange? He's like, I didn't mean what I said. And Doc Holliday's like, but I did. It's like, and just the shots of the head. Come on, Ringo. Come on. That was so fucking cathartic. If this wasn't such an elevated tone, I don't know if I would have bought the Kurt Russell walking up and him being like, but I thought you were sick. He was like, I wasn't that sick.
Oh yeah. No way.
Kill everybody.
No, he's fucking. He's actually dying. And part of the reason he's so good is he knew he could die, which is what they always say. You know, what makes the best downhill skier? The one who can go the fastest, as close to falling without falling. Because that's it. You got to go as straight down the mountain, the fewest curves, as straight as possible without crashing. If you're already going to die, you can go pretty fucking straight. And I feel like that was it. He was basically like, I got nothing to lose. But instead they said, I'm not that sick. Let's go kill some people.
Yeah.
I mean, I heard my entire like childhood growing up about how good Val Kilmer was in this movie. And then watching Val, I think we all talked about Val when we watched it last year or whatever. And this just blew me away. It totally lived up to it. Everything everybody said was true. He's incredibly transformational. He's so grounded. There was no acting. It was like a different fucking human being was on screen. It was unreal. The voice work,
but he didn't
the
like
makeup on him was brilliant.
When I say he steals the shit out of this movie, he didn't steal a single scene. Every single scene he took was his. When it wasn't his, he was just business in the background.
Yeah.
So it wasn't. It was a very fucking controlled performance, and the movie's worth watching just for that.
I keep saying I hope he gets back end from this Top Gun movie. I hope they gave him back end. Give him back end. Let him live. Let him live it out. He did his job. He did his time.
I'm looking at. He definitely had the most fun writing him. I'm looking up some Doc Holliday quotes. When Kurt Russell comes in, they are the dealers now. They have 25% of this casino. And Doc has been staying up all night and he's gambling. And he's like, come on, Doc, I think you're done, buddy. It's time to go to sleep. And he says, nonsense. I have not yet begun to defile myself. That's a good one.
It's so good. Wait, this I'm looking. I'm
man.
looking
I'll probably end up
according-
using that too.
1, 2, 3. So Top Gun was only his third movie. This is only his 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th movie.
Only a lot of people
I
don't
mean,
get a
he's-
chance to make 9 fucking movies. Like,
No, but what he's doing in this movie is like,
Yeah.
yes, you're right. But I mean, Jesus. And then
just-
he
I'm
had to
just
basically
sitting
take a
here
year
reading
off to
quotes
prep
now.
for fucking Batman Forever.
I mean, I'm sure. I don't think it was the performance, to be honest. I never had a problem with him as Batman. I had a problem with what
No.
everyone else was fucking saying in that movie.
What he did was fine, but Batman's the toughest role in the Batman movies. And Michael Keaton doesn't do that. Come on. Ush. It's like, you want to go nuts. If he doesn't do that, and he doesn't do that, I'm Batman at the beginning. It's a hard role. Batman's the hardest role in that whole series. Okay, anyway, Tombstone.
Tombstone.
Guys,
Did
yeah.
you guys
Guys.
buy?
Shot in anamorphic because fuck you. You shoot westerns in anamorphic.
They want that fucking vertical bokeh, Dave. That's what they want, bro.
Yeah.
They got to get it.
No, if you're shooting a western on spherical, it's not a fucking western. It's a dirty drama.
Yeah, get out of here. Sergio
How
Leone
many times do I have to
judges
buzz
you.
you before you take your goddamn drink?
I don't
that's
know
gonna
what
hurt.
else to say, you guys. I
No,
had
it's
fun
nothing to say.
watching this.
Yeah.
I think there's a little bit of me that wonders if it took me a little bit to adjust to that elevated style. I thought I was going to watch like a gritty style Western. And I think if I had known, maybe put on your suit and tie for this one a little bit. Like, you're going to have fun watching this one, but it's not down and dirty. You're going to feel like you have the fucking dirt on your face the whole time. Like, it's got a little bit more, there's a little bit more cinema Italiano going on
Yeah.
with this. I think I may have
Right.
enjoyed it even more. So I guess if I were to recommend this to people, I would have just told them, there's this movie has a flair to it there is something heightened about it. And if you allow yourself to just start taking that in from the jump, I think you're going to enjoy it more and more and more as it goes on, because it doesn't let up. It plays on that chord
Yeah.
throughout and really uses it and really tries to wring all the juice out of it.
Yeah, skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
God damn it, dude. That scene. How is Kurt Russell not even bigger than he is? You know what I mean?
I mean,
don't
he
think
was-
he was ever
He was huge.
A-list,
No, he was
right?
he was
he?
huge in the 80s and 90s. Yeah.
Snake Plissken.
I mean,
Yeah.
Escape from New York. I mean, he was it.
Big
right?
Trouble
He
in
was the
Little
biggest,
China.
Yeah.
Oh god damn it, dude. It's so good.
Yeah.
I told you guys I got to watch fucking him as stuntman Rick in
Uh-huh.
the Tarantino movie. Man, if you guys haven't seen that, fucking put that on. He's fucking a baller. But yeah, this made me want to just go back and watch like every movie he's ever fucking made. And
Stargate,
did Bill
let me get back
Paxton
into it, yeah.
Did he just have a career as like that guy for a while? Like that kind of like supporting character.
All of a sudden, they're like,
There's
"You want
a
me to
lot
be
of energy
the
and-
president, not like the president's like brother? You want me to be the president in Independence Day,
confused.
which is very soon after this? Well, sort of soon after this.
Wrong Bill.
Wrong Bill.
Fuck! Can we cut this out? Cut it out. Edit it out.
No.
No,
Both
edit it
of
out.
you.
Edit it out.
The other Bill P. Pullman.
Get it? No, I said I was talking about Bill Paxton.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sure, you're right. Sure. Everybody on Earth gets
Game
them
over,
confused,
man.
which is-
Game over.
I don't know. Why am I drinking?
I know Bill Paxton, R.I.P. from Aliens and Twister. I know. It's
Yeah,
just,
Aliens was what I was quoting, dickhead.
Fuck.
So fucking.
I should have
good.
gone.
All right.
I should have gone Twister, and instead I went fucking Independence.
Yeah,
Day.
yeah.
Fucking idiot. Because this guy could take
Thank
down
you
a fucking
guys
tornado.
for letting us do the random year generator. Thank you for choosing Tombstone. I've been wanting to see this for a long time, and I had so much fun. And I'm like a fucking, broken record here, but Jeff, what was that?
What?
What was that?
I'm still.
Yeah.
What,
Did
what, what I do?
have you-
Hearts?
A whole heap of hearts
Oh.
just flew out of you on screen.
Okay, this happened to me earlier today for something
What the
different.
fuck was
I
that?
didn't do anything. I didn't do a single thing. What did you do? I didn't do anything.
Have you been
Nobody at home knows what this happened.
Have you been drinking like dish soap
did
or
that
something and you
happen?
sneaky farted? Like,
I thought I
actually-
just had a stroke. Honestly,
Right. We're actually living in Who Framed Roger Rabbit, which is the highest grossing summer
I
blockbuster
your
of
hands were nowhere
1989.
near the keyboard.
yeah,
That's
no,
it,
that
yeah.
I don't
Fucking
know
weird.
how that happened.
My hand was up in
What
the
the
air.
fuck?
I'm still mad about the Bill Pullman, Bill Paxton thing, but fuck you guys.
Anyway, you should
um,
be. I just wanted to make this. I'm going to say it again because I just keep saying it, but like they just don't make them like this anymore, you guys. Like fucking child of the '90s. I'm so happy. This was just people on sets acting, talking to each other, shooting each other up with fucking fake guns and squibs, and it fucking works, guys. It was still fucking fun to watch. God, they just
Yeah.
don't do
Like,
it. I'm just-
I don't know, a single rich person without a guilty conscience. Well, I already got a guilty conscience.
I would
Might as
already-
well get rich. Come
Yeah, I
on.
might as well be rich.
Yeah.
God, Mr.
I would definitely watch this in a group because you and your friends will be quoting this for about the next 20 fucking years.
Oh, it's so good.
Come on. Oh, come on. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally just sitting here.
Yep. But we'll start repeating ourselves. So like
I
I'd say
but I
it's a
really
winner.
love the
This one's
change.
a winner.
I really love the change of pace from the opening with the Mexican wedding getting shot up into, which is terrible, into the second. It's almost like honestly, the passing of the torch thing with opera. I think that's your kit. That's your kitsch. Because it is
I think
very.
the thing I like the most is unlike opera, this isn't 3 fucking hours long.
Yeah, what is the runtime? A solid
207,
exactly,
209, something like that.
Fantastic, you know?
And there's not a bit of it that's slow.
Guys, R.I.P. to Bill Paxton. What a guy. What a life.
Cheers to so many people who are in this movie. It was
Oh,
just
yeah.
like, they did a great job. I don't know. This is fun.
All right.
Really, really, really surprising. It got no nominations.
Yeah.
Nope, not a single one. I
Val
thought
Kilmer got
Val
an
was going to be the one, but
MTV,
nothing. Yes, that's right. You saw that on Wikipedia.
nomination.
It was nominated for an MTV award. Cool.
Oh, they
Fucking
used
weird.
to be.
How did he not get a
Now they
supporting?
give it to everyone.
How did he not get any Critics' Choice notice
yeah.
or anything?
Critics had a giant stick up their ass and they saw some stylization.
Well,
and they
but
said,
I would guess.
oh, this came out
whatever,
on Christmas, by the way. This came out on
Oh,
Christmas.
okay. So No Man's Land, but also I would guess whatever studio put it out had something else they wanted to plug for the awards season.
Guys, I don't know
You're probably right.
I don't know what you do on Christmas every year, but if my Christmas was spent watching Tombstone, it'd be pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Guys, I
I've
will
seen-
say if you enjoyed this, watch The Wild Bunch. I think you're going to have
Yeah.
a blast watching that as well.
Yeah.
All right, Dave.
Hmm.
What's our next year, dude?
Oh, our next year.
Yeah, we can.
Are we
vamp
doing
if we
the are we
need
doing
to.
the are we doing the generator live here? Are we going for it?
Yeah, we're gonna go for it. All right. I
Yeah, let's
don't know
fucking
where
do
that
it.
sound effect is. I don't have that sound effect.
And just so everybody knows who's listening, we have our date range set from 1930. Not Dad talk in 1939.
yeah, I round it back to 1939 through to
39.
through to 2023.
3. So yeah, let's roll the dice
Let's
and see what we got.
see what we got.
Unless you need me to kill more time, Dave, while you
Nope.
pull it up.
No.
All right.
It's here. We are going to 1985.
Oh my God.
1985. Year Back to the Future. Highest grossing movie 1985. Back to the Future. We're not going to choose that one.
No,
We haven't. This is a new one for us. I don't think we had this year before.
maybe
Are you
not.
serious?
When we did the 3 movies a year back in the COVID age, I don't think we had 85.
Wow.
Yeah.
There are so many we could do.
Okay,
As you know, it
Christopher
might
Nolan.
be fun. We have. I don't think we have ever done.
Wow.
A John
must
Hughes
be
movie.
Nice.
We
What
could
was
do the
the
Breakfast
Hughes-
Club.
Oh my. Well,
Ha ha ha.
we're not
Didn't
going to
one of
buzz
you
you.
just watch Clue? Didn't one of you just?
I just
watch
watched. I just watched Clue.
Yeah, that's that.
If you guys
we
want to do,
get-
if you guys want to do 2, we can get drunk and talk about Clue. That's fine by me. But if you want to do another one to put me to work, I'm okay with that.
we got a room with a view.
Ugh. Color Purple, Witness. We're not talking about the Color Purple for sure. The Jewel of the Nile,
Done Witness.
Preet's Honor. We have done. Have we done Witness?
Yeah,
No.
it was.
Yes,
I'm
we
pretty
have
sure
done
it was-
Witness.
Yeah, Witness was in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh, Witness was
There's something
good.
we could
Holy
do.
shit, Harrison, good job. Wait, I thought that was 84. I guess I was wrong.
Witness was fucking fantastic, dude.
Purple Rose of Cairo, Spider Woman. We talked about. Dave did not love Kiss of the Spider Woman, if I remember correctly.
No, I
We're
did.
literally going to decide on. air
Oh,
right
the
now.
musical. I remember the musical.
Dave, do you want to cut
That's on
this
me.
out, or are we gonna?
No, we're good. White Knights. Let's do White Knights. I'm kidding.
I think we'll announce it. We'll announce it during the week.
Okay, we'll announce it during the week. We're
85.
doing 1985,
Can't wait to talk about.
folks. A lot of
Can't
fun
wait to talk
choices.
about the trip to Bountiful with you guys next week. Can't wait.
Shut the fuck up. All right, let's do a quick round of what you've been watching.
What you been watching, Dave? We like to start with you in our quick round of what
Yeah,
you've
we
been
do.
watching. Where you give us a recommendations, reviews of the week. What have you been watching, Dave?
It's fucking finally here. The Boys spin-off Gen V.
Oh, I kept seeing billboards. for that here.
They dropped 3 episodes this week. It's
Amazon?
fucking amazing.
Is it really?
I am enjoying it more than the later seasons of The Boys. Like
Wow.
it's the
Not
superpowered.
the episode my brother-in-law was on, though, right? You're not.
No,
pretty
that
good.
one was
All right.
brilliant. That was
Oh, thank you.
Our
gold.
fantastic
Yeah.
guest.
Good.
yeah. And also, you know, I want to see more of that, to be honest. But
Was that the the guy who
came out wrong.
margins once he's inside the? Yeah, that came out wrong. In my bad.
Fucking Chris.
no, but the Gen V is basically it's set in the university, like the college. All these kids. It deals with how it came out that all these parents have been injecting their kids with V to try and make the superheroes, and so all these kids are now at college. They open up this college for them where they're just obsessed with fucking marketing and stuff like that. There's some really interesting characters in it that I like. There's a mystery running in the middle of it because it's like a whole what the fuck's going on with this school sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. It's like the first, and it's really well written. I found it really, really well written.
Nice.
And I also caught this week on Hulu, No One Will Save You, which
No
is
one will save you. What is
it's
that?
another original sci-fi. It's about a girl who has pulled herself away from the town she lives in, or for the town. Basically, for some reason that's not clear at the beginning of the film, the town pretty much wants nothing to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
And aliens come to her house and try to kidnap her.
That's. I'm in.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude.
I saw.
The
preview for this on Hulu.
first one does not go as expected at all. She fucking wastes that thing, and from that point on, it's on. Like, but it's literally it does not like. There's a lot of like they use the familiar alien invasion or like alien abduction sort of tropes, and then turn it on its head a little bit every now and then. So
Fuck yeah, dude.
yeah, it's
Those sound fun.
yeah.
I have been
yeah, John.
watching. I have been continuing with Downton Abbey, and it's just kind of the show Elizabeth and I are watching together.
Downton.
It's still holding up. Yeah, it's still.
Where are you?
good.
Because I do feel like at a certain point they start reaching, but where are you?
We are almost. I mean, it's it's getting soapy. We're into 3 or 4 now, and
Yeah.
it definitely gets soapier than it starts. And I
Okay.
think I'm approaching the place where I stopped watching it originally. At some point,
Yeah.
somebody key dies, and I think I stopped watching it there last time, and it just kind of fell off. So we'll see if we continue on. But
when 2 different characters decided not to renew after their 3-year contracts were running out and really fucked over the show.
That would make sense. That's
There
I
were
think that's
2
probably-
who died in season 3 that were very big characters because they decided not to renew their contracts. At least one of them told them early enough so they could kill them off early in the season. And then some they had to wait until the very last episode of season 3.
So that's about to happen. The second one is about to happen because I remember thinking, where the fuck did he go?
Yeah.
At the beginning
honestly-
of the next season, he was
and
just
honestly-
"Where the fuck is
writer's
that guy?"
Guys,
I
we
feel
need
like-
to kill this person next week.
I also feel like they did him dirty because they were not happy about it. They were like, "You, of all of
Oh,
us, you, Go
You
fuck
can
yourself."
you can tell when they've done him dirty because there is no getting around that death.
And you can tell
Like,
when he made no money from this show as compared to what he could make in the future.
it's like this person is
Sorry, did I
not
say
coming
that?
back, not even in a fucking flashback.
I saw him in a
Oh my
Broadway show and he
God.
was fantastic, by the way. Okay, keep going.
Oh, I heard he was so good. He's actually good as we're basically spoiling Downton Abbey. But you know, this came out fucking years ago, so fuck you.
Yeah.
He was actually good. It's a very charming family movie where he plays Charles Dickens and he's writing Christmas Carol.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Charming
Yeah.
Christmas movie. You should
I forget
watch
what that's
it.
called. Yeah.
I heard he was not as impressive as the Beast in Beauty and the Beast, but I never saw that movie, so I don't want
Skip
to
the movie. It made plenty of money, so it doesn't need our endorsement.
I saw it.
All right, very good. Good for them.
Okay, Dave, what do you think of it?
Okay.
You saw it. Dave, you saw it. What do you think?
Passable.
Passable.
Okay.
There are so many. I'm still looking up movies of 1985. Anyway, so I was watching that, and I watched. Oh man, I have been waiting to tell you guys about this. I had so much fun watching this movie. I'm going to say somebody's name who you're not really supposed to say anymore, but it's a movie by Roman Polanski. Sorry, so just move past it. 2010. The
You mean the Academy Award winner Roman Polanski? It's okay, make good shit.
guy,
The Pianist is
that
just being adapted into a play. You know, we got to be able to talk about it. Keep
I
going.
know, inconvenient, fucking genius. The Ghost writer, as in like somebody writing for somebody else. 2010. Ewan McGregor, Pierce Brosnan, Olivia Green. Shit, fuck.
2010 is funny because that's way past a lot of this shit, but that's okay. Keep going.
This is like modern day fucking Hitchcock. Like
Oh,
classic suspense. It is Hitchcock, like the style of that. Like it's no more, no less. It was so much fun to watch. It's on Amazon Prime. If you guys are in the mood for that kind of thing, murder, somebody, there's a mystery, who did it? He's a ghost writing for an ex-prime minister, uncovering the secrets, like fan-fucking-tastic. I had so much fun watching this movie. So good. And I had never even heard of it. And one of my professors recommended it to me, and I was like, yeah, sure. And I enjoyed it. I had so much fun. So definitely go check that out if you feel like watching that kind of movie. If you enjoy that kind of story, you're going to have a great time.
nice. So I'm in love with The Dancer. So we saw a lot of dancing stuff this week, which was great. So I actually forgot to tell you guys, I watched this show from Stars, which is called Flesh and Bone, which I actually really liked. I really liked it, but it's really deep in the ballet world. Obviously, there's some like, I don't want to say lapse of reality, but it's some Black Swan-esque, like deep interpersonal stuff that comes to life. That's like, is it metaphysical? Is it like?
Oh no,
just
I've
their
worked in
insights
dance. That shit really happens.
Yo, well, hey, you and Angela have a lot to talk about. So that was really cool. So Flesh and Bone was really great. Center Stage we watched again, and you know what? It's just fucking fun, man. Give me some Jamiroquai. It's pretty authentic.
A little bit of canned heat.
It was fun. Canned heat, hell yeah, it was great. Actually, she said I was on my phone a lot that day, and I was like, "Are you sure?" I didn't think I was, and I was like, "Not during the movie." And she's like, "Actually, during Center Stage, you weren't on your phone at all." So there you go, guys. That's what. If that's not an endorsement, I don't know what is. Yeah. And then,
Jeff,
I've been
in Center Stage when he pulls the newspaper down. He's like, "Are you ready to dance?" That shit is one of the funniest fucking moments of all time. Are you
so
ready?
Good. Are you ready to dance?
Sit in the theater. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm ready to dance.
Oh,
Guys, it's so
good.
guys. I like it. I don't give a shit. They cast dancers, so what? They can't act. At least they can fucking dance. God, that's a dancing show.
dance.
Give it to me. They can dance, and most of them can act. Fuck you. Okay, last thing. And I've been waiting for this. I've been joking about this during the strike, and to be honest, I feel a little bad about it because there's new shit that keeps coming out. But it's always like, well, what's the shows that we didn't see that now we have the time to watch because no new stuff is coming out?
Yeah.
Fosse Verdon. I hadn't seen it before.
Ah,
Jeff, how good is it, dude?
It is so good,
It's so
man.
good.
So
It's
good.
so good.
Dude, so we were talking about Sam Rockwell at the beginning. Sam Rockwell's Bob Fosse. It is effortless, man. I really thought like he would try to like overdo it or he tried to like really put on a show. I would say that I was like, Bob Fosse, it couldn't have been that simple. He made it seem so easy. He made it seem so easy.
So easy, dude. So
So great.
easy.
And of course,
Michelle.
she won an Emmy. She's a brilliant. Like she makes it, and it's hard because history remembers Bob Fosse better. We talk about this in Angela. Bob Fosse's the legend, and Gwen Verdon was like the star for that era. But Bob Fosse's eternal. So it's like I feel like it's hard for the show because he's obviously historically a bigger figure. They're so good together, but really, I do love them both. But of course, I'm drawn to Sam. Like this performance is just like.
And the storytelling is just when it goes inside his head for the dancing. The reason it's not lame or cliche, I felt like, was because those were the stories and the kind of aesthetic that he did bring to life in his expression with his art. So it didn't feel like a filmmaker was trying to go inside the head of an artist. Like it worked.
No.
All of that expressionistic, he's choreographing and you kind of get to go on the ride with him. It felt realistic, which is hard to do with the expressionistic kind of storytelling.
When he sells himself for why he needs to direct Cabaret because he served and he was tap dancing for people that have been shot and
editing
stuff.
scene. The editing sequences when he's cutting the movies.
Oh,
There's just frustration literally in the editing room. It's just fucking brilliant, dude.
And you see the iconic pictures and he's just like pissed off about it. And even just like the gorilla, I keep talking about when Gwen finally gets there. This is the thing that's really stuck in my head. If you could see her like I am, that scene, and he's really in love with this gorilla. Like he's in love with it's a gut punch. She wouldn't look Jewish at all. It's at the end, but we got to believe he's really in love with this gorilla. We have to be in love with the gorilla. We got to believe it. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, this is it. I thought I was just gonna watch this choreographer who's dealing with alcoholism, but he gave such a shit about all this shit. It gave such a shit about all of it. It was so good. This show is so good. Oh my God.
A+. I felt the same. I think that was one of the last things I watched in New York before the pandemic. It was like fall of 19 and I was kind of feel like I was kind of late to the party with it as well. And I was like jaw on the floor. I hadn't cared or thought about musicals in a long time. It kind of stepped away from that world. And it was like I time traveled back to college when it was just I was obsessed with those people.
You can do some Fosse dancing.
Took me right back there.
You did it, man. You did some Fosse dancing, dude. It was great.
Do your hips still work?
That's the beauty of Fosse is that his hips were turned in. He wasn't turned out, so he could do all these. Oh man, I agree with you.
He's broken a lot of dances.
Rockwell seemed like a choreographer. Yeah. How does that work? But it fucking works, dude. I believed him when he was moving.
He smoked so many cigarettes.
I have a lot of friends in music theater who did not like Michelle's performance. They just didn't buy her as the ultimate dance icon. I just totally disagreed with them. I just thought I believed her as that.
Oh my God, me too.
It was, it's like Natalie Portman in Black Swan. Like, I don't fucking care. I believed her emotion. It was good enough for me to buy that she was when she was dancing because I went on the ride with her emotionally. She
still wanted to be great, and she knew her time was running short. So I bought it too. I do wish there were more moments where I could see her actually dance. I do. But at the same time, I never doubted a moment of hers, if that makes sense. But I do wish she had the ability to give us just like a little bit of that on stage star power as opposed to on screen star power, if that makes sense. But anyway, it doesn't matter. It's fucking brilliant. Anyway, but I can't wait to see some more of this new shit because I am ignoring the new stuff. I admit it, and I can't wait to get back into it. Yeah. 1985 next week, people. I can't wait to go back into Dave's era here. It's going to be so fun. It's going to be so fun. Back to the Future on Broadway. I should see it this week.
I was 13. What? Yeah, Back to the Future on Broadway.
They made Back to the Future into a musical?
Yeah, it's been on the West End for the last 2 years. It's a smash hit.
Yeah.
Apparently it's brilliant.
Yeah, it's fun. John, the car fucking flies.
The car flies. I'm sure the car flies. That's how they sold it. Yeah, no doubt.
Come on, man. It kicked Music Man out. Music Man, you got to go. We got Back to the Future coming in. All right, guys.
What's fair enough. Music Man kicked Beetlejuice out, so fair.
And also Hugh was like, it's enough.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Okay, guys, enough of this shit. Enough. People aren't tuning in for our Broadway talk. Can't wait to talk to you guys next week. I hope you guys have a great week. Anything else before we send the people on their way?
Nope.
No, that's all. Let's do it. Peace.
Film fans, can't wait to see you next week. Bye.